Hello?
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Racing Course. I'm Kendall Kerr, and I've got Chad Winstead once again live here in the booth. And Chad, I believe this is the only road course on the schedule, but when you think of this Mid-Ohio racetrack, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind, it's a very technical racetrack. It's 13 corners, 2.25 miles. A couple long straights leading into that famous keyhole corner in turn 2, where you can really brake later than you think. But lots of elevation changes throughout. You really got to be on top of your car setting up some of these turns, especially corners like Madness, and that's over in turn 5, where you get the roller coasters going into the S's. Just a lot of technical driving. You got to really be on top of your stuff. A few good overtaking opportunities at this track, and I'm excited to see what we get.
Yeah, we were just talking about it before we went live. I think this is a really good road course for these guys to showcase their skills. We'll take a peek here at the layout once again. So it's a unique one. 15 turns here. Of course, this track was built in 1962, and it's about 2.25 miles long. Tonight they're going to run 20 laps, no competition yellow, so that's a little bit different. So these guys are going to have to be on it right from the get-go.
Kendall, do you have a favorite driver leading into this one? Do you have any idea on who's going to run good here?
You know, I really don't. Erik Richardson to be strong. I think he finished second to you in season 2 in that road course race, and I think he was running really strong last season at COTA before some issues took place. So I don't know if he'll win, but I bet he'll have a really strong run in the 13 car. It's going to be a matter of keeping your ARCA car on track here tonight because, you know, you can run as fast as you want to. You might be a second and a half faster than the guy behind you, but the minute that you roll off the track, you probably just cost yourself 15-20 seconds.
Yeah, definitely. With no competition caution, there's no getting that mistake back tonight, so these guys are going to have to really just stay on top of it and drive a clean race. I hear that Hunter Hughes, this is his local track, and it looks like he's qualified second in the 18 car, so I'm looking to see what he can do here. And then Mark Vicker's there in third in the 84 car. He's always run strong at road courses. I know when I ran against him, he ran really fast lap times and was right up on me for most of the race at Watkins Glen. And I'm excited to see if he can keep it on track and be there at the finish.
Good luck, everyone.
And both those guys you just mentioned are winless in their career on the Wednesday Night Dash, but have had very, very close calls as far as getting to victory lane. We know Mark has finished second numerous times, and Hunter Hughes seems to be fast everywhere we go. So it's going to be interesting for sure. I don't know if it's going to top last week, though. Scott McCarus, last lap pass on Tyler Vickery. And after that pass, let's take a peek at the point standings. These guys are getting ready to go green here.
Green, green, green.
Thought there was going to be a little bit longer on the pace lap. They must have had it set up for just a half a lap there. So we see Brandon Birmingham dive to the inside with an aggressive move. And Hunter Hughes is going to come out to the early lead. It looks like a pretty clean start, though, throughout the field.
Yeah, all cars are still on the track. Let's see what happens here going into the turn 2 keyhole here. See if everybody can plan it down. Tyler Vickery got a little slow start there. Hunter Hughes just started in second, got the jump on him.
Yep, everybody looks like they've been putting in their practice laps so far, and I think if they can get themselves spread out here we might have a really clean race.
Yeah, single file throughout right now. Everybody's just getting a feel for the track, coming through the roller coaster here.
I'm probably going to utilize this blimp view quite a bit so you can kind of see what's happening around multiple turns at the same time. We see Brandon Birmingham a little bit loose there in the Jack Daniels machine.
Yeah, he's really sliding it around right now, but he's able to keep it under him.
That view's not helping us there as they go underneath the trees. Good battle for the lead, though, after one lap, coming towards the end of this lap. Got a tight carousel right here at the end of the lap. The quick left-hander, and there's the start-finish line. Hunter Hughes is going to lead lap number 1. And we see somebody's off track back there. Maybe it was DJ Fluck? No.
DJ did have a spin, but then somebody else went off right after him.
Back up front, it's still Hunter Hughes leading. Tyler Vickery trying to reel in that 18 car.
Ooh, 41 really drove it in deep, and Mark Vickers makes a move on him for third.
That'll be big to make sure he can get a little bit of space spot for himself. You don't want that car right behind you breathing down your neck where you're reliant on them to hit the brake pedal in time either.
Yeah, Brandon's giving it all he's got. It seems like his car looks loose just about every turn.
And Brandon was really fast at Coda, but I think he used up his stuff pretty early. And I think he ended up having some contact with somebody at the end of that one. So we see a great battle for the lead developing right now.
Yeah, that'll be key if these guys keep running as clean as they are. Who's going to burn up their stuff the fastest, and who's got enough to save? This is a 20-lap race. Lap times around a minute and 35 seconds or so per lap. You know, this is a long battle as the 41 car is off track here.
Able to reel it back in and not lose a position. So now he's got Colton Gardner right behind him, Cade McAravey Jr. a little bit behind him. And it'll be interesting to see how all these cards shake out here tonight, because, you know, some guys probably had this racetrack circled on their calendar because they're confident in their road course skills and maybe they can make up a points gap, and other guys are just trying to survive it.
Yeah, these top two guys are opening up a pretty good gap to third place Mark Vickers. Good battle up here for the lead still, as Tyler Lugo Vickery is right on Hunter Hughes' bumper still.
I did notice it looked like maybe Kyle Fluck has brought the 99 machine to the pits already, so some trouble for the 99 car.
Yeah, and his brother DJ, I did see him go around on that first lap. It looks like he's just trying to coast around back there right now, not making any mistakes, and be there at the end like he's done twice this year already. Had a good finish from just keeping it clean.
I think Erik Richardson actually had some contact on the first lap too. I knew it was a blue car, but I was in that blimp view and I couldn't quite tell who, and I think he's a significant ways back from where he started as well. I tried to take this car out for a couple of laps just to try to sort of memorize the track a little bit better during these guys' qualifying session, and it's a pretty tricky track to memorize, I feel like. You know, that middle section has a few turns that are pretty similar.
Yeah, there's almost like a blind corner coming into the S's as well, if I remember correctly from the in-car. With those elevation changes, it's a little bit tricky to kind of see where you're at on a couple of the turns and where your braking points are going to be.
Worth mentioning, DJ Fluck did bring the 88 car in for a fast repair and some fresh tires. He has now gone a lap down.
You know, with Tyler Vickery hanging with Hunter Hughes as close as he is, do you think Hunter's sweating right now and driving in the rear view, or do you think he's just driving his own race?
I mean, I think you gotta just run your own race.
I'm gonna hold way out back there.
Me personally, I want to be as far away from any car as possible on a road course race. I know yourself, Caleb, and me had a tremendous battle at Road America last season in the Highline Racing League, and it's just both cars are slower when they're battling, because you can't hit the braking points exactly where you want, just in case the guy in front of you brakes a bit earlier, because the last thing you want to do is get into him, and it just seems to slow down both cars in a battle. But these guys still leading this thing.
Looked like the 24 was going to make a move there going into turn 1. He is right on his bumper.
Yeah, I mean, that's as close as it gets for road course racing. We see him make a move now to the inside, going to try and outbrake Hunter Hughes.
He's done it. He's pulled it off on the outside there going into turn 2.
And something else worth mentioning, Mark Vickers has reeled these guys in. He was over 6 seconds back, got the advantage for those guys now just down to 3 seconds.
Yeah, I'm pulling for Mark to have a good finish here and pull something out. I'd love to see the 3-car battle for the lead here as time goes on. Just like you were saying earlier when we had that 3-car battle, that was some of the most fun racing I've had on iRacing was at that road course. The 6-car was frustrating me. I knew you were coming, and I couldn't get around him, and it was just, he was slowing me down, and next thing you know, we got a 3-car battle, and that was some wild laps there.
Yeah, I think maybe even some bumpers were tagged a couple occasions.
I did see some contact being made.
So Tyler Vickery reassumes the lead, where he dominated most of last week's race. But as we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, Scott McCarus able to save his stuff and get by him. There was about a lap and a half to go. Maybe Mark Vickers is that guy here tonight.
He has really closed the gap, and he is all over Hunter Hughes, as Hunter actually gets really loose there in turn 1. I feel like he caught the curb a little bit. The car got unsettled there and allowed Mark to make the move. Let's see if Mark Vickers can reel in Tyler Vickery here.
Already on lap number 6, this race kind of flying by.
Yes, it is.
And with it being the new ARCA car that was just remade, this obviously their first road course race since then. I wonder if there's any more or any less tire wear than we've traditionally seen. We see a battle a little bit further back. The 72 car, Justin Wexberg, just got around Scott McCarus. These guys are just doing what they need to do. Obviously oval drivers, and their main goal tonight needs to just be keep that car on the racetrack. So we see Wexberg go around, and McCarus is going to reassume that 9th spot.
A couple of different cars I've seen coming through turn 1 get a little sideways and lose it going over the curbs.
Meanwhile, Mark Vickers got around Hunter Hughes there. And now he sets his sights on Tyler Vickery. Let's go on board with Mark.
Looks like Tyler Vickery has almost a 2-second lead on him right now. Has been slowly pulling away since Mark got around Hunter.
So just like last week, the next question becomes, is Mark saving or is he burning it up?
Well, we know what Tyler Vickery's thinking right now. He was in this situation all last week, only to get past in the last lap. So you know that's in the back of his mind, to not make any more subtle mistakes or really let the foot off the gas early on.
It's very, very, very easy to make a mistake on a road course in a stock car. You know, this is 15 turns, 20 laps, so we're talking about 300 turns these guys are going to have to make. And if you hit 299 and miss one, you might be in the garage.
Yeah, both of these guys running 1 and 2 both have a little bit of a monkey on their back for finishing second, not being able to get some wins. So
We see on the front of Tyler Vickery's car this week, he's got the new Smyrna Speedway logo. Of course, that's the track he actually races his own personal vehicle at. I saw he posted in the Discord one of those videos of him battling with some other people's street cars. It was definitely worth the watch, entertaining finish there.
Yeah, he was talking to us after the race last week about that. The spectator racing is what he does down there at New Smyrna, and I've seen some of those videos circulating around online a few different times, and there's some fun battles to be had at those local tracks with the spectator racing.
Yeah, and obviously respect of the vehicle has to be priority number one with something like that. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, I've seen some people take their Tesla out on the track and they're racing up against like a Chevy S10 with a big block in it, and I'm just sitting there thinking of all the things that could go wrong between those two cars. One being a $60,000 electric car and the other one a garage build, you know.
And now we see Vickery a little bit wide on that turn. Look how close Vickers is now. He can smell the lead.
Yeah, we got a race now.
Vickery's really overdriving these short turns right now. If Vickers can get himself set up, I think he'll have the lead.
Yeah, you could hear Tyler screeching the tires going through, I think that was turn 8 or 9.
We're on lap number 9 already. Oh, we see somebody off the track there. I think that's maybe Scott McCarus in the 65.
Yeah, last week's race winner has been struggling a little bit here on the road course. I'm sure he's going to be ready to get back to an oval when this is all said and done.
Yeah, and since you mentioned it, let's take a peek at the schedule. Next week, we've got Talladega on the docket. So I know McCarus is a big fan of Talladega. Following Talladega will be the short track of either Concord or South Boston, maybe IRP. I know they're still trying to work through some setup issues there because Concord setup got deleted. But back to the battle on the racetrack here. Vickery a little bit wide once again. Let's see if we can go to the rear bumper of the 24 car.
Be a good camera angle right here.
And you can definitely hear him burning up those tires.
Yeah, watching Mark Vickers' line right now in the 84 car. He's just hitting all his marks consistently and not overdriving the car, which is what we're seeing from Tyler. It looks like. See how long he can hold on.
Oh, Vickers is off the racetrack.
He's taking out the cones there. He's able to save it.
Good save. That's so much harder than it just looked. So easy to just get the back end to kick out in those situations, and then you're around and lost 20 seconds.
Yeah, watching him go into the keyhole right there, it looked like his right front almost wanted to lock up as well, so that's something to watch. Just a couple of times I've seen him dive in there, and his right front looks like it almost stopped, as he is really after those cones right now, apparently.
I think our old buddy, the Orange Cone on Twitter, I think he'd appreciate that too much.
No, he wouldn't, as Mark actually ran a little bit deep there again. He's going to lose another probably half a second there off that mistake. Let's see if he can get it together. He's off track again.
He's off. Yep, Hunter Hughes is going to go by, and Hunter had the best seat in the house, about 3 seconds back behind both of these guys during their battle. So maybe he had the ability to just hit his marks better than anybody else, not being in a battle, save some tire, and now the 18's on the move.
Mark got some grass on his tires there on that lap, it seems, and couldn't really find his marks again.
But that had to be exactly what Tyler Lugo Vickery was looking for.
Maybe it's that sloppy drunk alcohol kicking in about halfway through this race.
Yeah, maybe he borrowed a shot from old Brandon Birmingham there. And it looks like Scott McCarus, after last week's triumphant victory, has retired the 65 car. So no more points for the reigning race winner here tonight. We see somebody's off track. That's
him and Caden.
DJ.
We had Tyler and Caden were tied for the points, correct?
Yep, yeah, let's pull that up while we've got a little bit of a gap there. I apologize at the beginning of the race. I thought we were going to be doing a full pace lap. It was just the half. Yeah, so Caden McAravey and Tyler Vickery tied for the points lead. Of course, McAravey, last season's champion. Fast everywhere we go, but evidently not the road course guy, because Tyler Vickery right now would be your points leader if this result held up as they're running right now. Running third in the points is Scott McCarus. Brian McKinney, one of the rookies, he's fourth. Mark Vickers fifth. DJ Fluck is sixth. Eric Blum, he didn't show up tonight to do rights and lefts. He's sixth, tied with Colton Gardner. Hunter Hughes ninth. Erik Richardson rounding out the top 10.
Caden's currently running in fifth, just cruising back there. He's 43 seconds behind our race leader, Tyler Vickery.
Yeah, but he's doing what he needs to do. You know, if he's not a road course guy, he's keeping that 3 car on track and just gaining as many points as he possibly can.
And if Tyler were to make a big mistake, like you said, all it takes is one turn, and that 43 seconds can not matter at all.
Yeah, all of a sudden, I mean, it looked like Vickers had done the best job at the beginning part of the race and saving his stuff, and now there's quite a gap.
Yeah, I think Mark got frustrated with himself, I'm sure, you know, just thinking of it from a driver's perspective right there. And looks like DJ Fluck just put it into the gravel trap and almost got into the tire barrier there. He is off track in turn 5. But
perhaps some Jepson's Malore for DJ before the race.
Perhaps.
Gonna need one after anyways.
Yeah, definitely. The stress of this track. Mark is, like I said before, he's finished second a lot in this league, and I'm sure to have the lead right there so close and then to make a mistake, you know, it's hard to kind of get unfrustrated there and find your grounds and start running cleanly again.
Yeah, it's really easy once you make one mistake to overthink the next corner, try to overdrive it, and actually compound it into a second mistake.
Yeah. In our league race, that's exactly what happened to me. I was trying to catch Alan Cumming for second place. I was expecting to have a really good finish, and then I made one mistake on the last lap that turned into about 4 mistakes.
Yeah, it is worth noting, Highline Racing League's fixing to get going again next Thursday. They'll kick off their season with a new broadcaster, also broadcasting here on Stadium Scene TV. We'll have to get with DJ and try and iron out some of the details on that, but they'll be switching over to the next gen car and starting the season off at Auto Club.
Don't tell the orange cone on Twitter, but Mark Vickers just took out a few more cones.
I was playing bowling there during that little fast straightaway section of track. I just wonder how they keep getting reset out there. Somebody's doing a good job timing the traffic.
Yeah, we've got some really lightning fast marshals out there at Mid-Ohio.
Well, I noticed the 24 car starting to slide around quite a bit. If you were in this race and you were noticing severe tire wear, at what point would you consider coming down pit road and slapping 4 fresh Goodyears on it to potentially make up the time difference?
You know, I've thought about it, and I'm not sure on this track how long it takes you to get down pit road, but you know, we did see DJ Fluck get lapped pretty quickly after his little spin-off. Obviously, it's a big time jump there, but I mean, I would think that you'd probably lose a good 40 to 45 seconds trying to get down pit road, get 4 fresh Goodyears, and put it back on the track.
Yeah, and honestly, now that I'm looking at the lap times, I don't think it would be worth it. They're only about 3 seconds off brand new tire base.
Yeah, so definitely not worth it here. Maybe if we had a longer race of, you know, 40, 45 laps or so.
Yeah, you'd be chancing the fact that the tires get so used up that these guys aren't able to keep their car on track, I think.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's doing a fairly good job of managing the wear right now. Like I said, only 3-second fall off. And I know I've been watching Hunter Hughes these last few laps, and it doesn't seem like he's really struggling with the grip or the handling of his car. So I'm wondering if he's just trying to save in hopes that Tyler makes a mistake.
Yeah, and Mark Vickers was actually the fastest one last time by. He ran a 131.3, and the leaders were running 132.2s. But don't blink now, we're actually down to just 6 laps to go. I think it's probably going to come down to these 3, Tyler Vickery, Hunter Hughes, and Mark Vickers, which interestingly enough, none of those 3 have ever been to victory lane, so a little extra nerves for all 3 of those guys in slots for podiums right now. Last time by, Hunter Hughes was the quickest of those 3.
Yeah, I was watching his lap times. He's closed it down a little bit to just under 3 seconds right now.
Let's go back to the blimp view and see if we can get a couple cars in screen here just to see the different lines throughout these turns. It's your top 2, Tyler Vickery, Hunter Hughes, and that 3rd car behind there is Mark Vickers. This is where just the exit of the corners throttle becomes so sensitive on these old tires. It's so easy to just spin the car around. You see Vickery going for a loop. Can he hang on to it? What a save. We were just talking about it.
Great save, and exactly what Hunter Hughes wants to see.
Right through the carousel. So now all of a sudden Vickery's got hot tires, and he needs to brake early and really take it easy the next couple corners.
Saw him struggle right through here earlier in turn 1. Keeps it together there as Hunter Hughes is closing that gap a little bit going into turn 2 into the keyhole.
Great camera angle right here. There's your top 2. See DJ getting out of the way, allowing those guys to race for the win. 5 laps to go. Still plenty of time for any of the top 3.
Definitely. Looks like Mark Vickers is closing the gap to these 2 guys a little bit as well. Still running fast laps.
Yeah, Hunter Hughes was the fastest one last time by, but Vickers was the 2nd fastest. Vickery with that little sort of spin was at a 133.1. But Hunter Hughes has it now within a second. And Tyler Vickery is probably playing last week's race on replay in his head right now.
Yeah, definitely, he's just got to tune in and tune out.
Whoa,
that
Hunter,
mirror.
he's loose. He hangs onto it.
Saves by these guys.
So much harder than it looks. Through the carousel, we saw the 24 struggle last time. It's taking a little bit higher line than the 18, trying to get a better exit out of that carousel. Makes it work that time. Check the lap times. They come to 4 laps to go. 132.5 for the 24, 132.2 for both the 18 and the 84 that time by.
Yeah, even with that little mix-up there, Hunter is still only a second behind. 4 laps is a lot. It's a lot of time for him to catch up to Tyler.
60 turns, so that's like basically going to Charlotte and having 30 laps to go.
Yeah, he just needs to not push it, not overdrive the car right now, and just keep running these consistent fast laps and be there on that last lap, try and make a move, and set himself up.
Let's see if we can go on board here with the 18. So you can see our leader, Tyler Vickery, getting a little bit loose out of the exit of the corner again. Hunter trying to stay disciplined to hit his marks and not kick the back end and fishtail that thing out.
Such a difficult turn right there.
Oh, Vickery's wide in that corner.
Could hear those tires.
So can Hunter Hughes try to win in his hometown track? Seems like the 24 is the best car on track in the first half of these laps. But we've seen the 84 and the 18 both make up some time throughout the second half of this track.
We know Tyler's fast up front. I'm wondering if he's just wearing out his tires a little bit more and having a harder time driving it. Hunter looks like he has about a 3-car gap between him and the lead.
I think Vickers maybe has gone off track. He's lost a lot of time to the leaders now. See Vickery, I'm sorry, really using the tires there. About half a second back.
Another couple of laps, I wonder if these guys wouldn't catch lap traffic, and that would make for some interesting racing. They're closing in on Brian McKinney there in 7th place.
And just in front of McKinney is Birmingham.
Yeah.
So then you start wondering, do these guys have their relative on? Are they aware of the leaders behind me?
Yeah, or if they make a mistake, they get loose in a turn and park it right in the middle of the raceway, what's that's going to do for our lead battle here?
Down to 2 laps to go.
How about the racing the last couple of weeks?
I
Coming down
know.
to the wire.
I need to keep you in the booth.
I'm liking it.
I think that's partly just, you know, these guys are getting more comfortable racing around each other. And also the increased car count. We see Hunter Hughes loops it.
Hunter is off.
And that is exactly what the 24 car wanted to see. He shouldn't have any pressure the rest of the way. Here comes Mark Vickers. In fact, he's going to probably go to second, and it does.
Huge mistake there by the 18 car. You hate to see it. Was in great position to make a run for the lead.
Somebody's off the track. Erik Richardson once again. He's had a rough night. He's 2 laps down. I expected a little bit more out of the 13 team tonight. See Vickers a little wide through that corner. Hunter's still a little bit quicker than Mark Vickers, so this battle for second is still a pretty good one. And using those F1 style points, that's a big pass if he could make it. I think it's worth about four points in that.
Oh, he is really loose again.
He is. That's a good save, and you know, these tires are just getting burnt to you know what.
Yeah, let's see if he can gain some composure here coming to 1 to go and make a run on that second place car.
Yeah, so Tyler 1 to go.
Checked out.
Yeah, Tyler Vickery coming back after last week's dominating performance where, you know, it might be easy to hold your head a little bit low with what ended up happening there, but able to move on and look at him here tonight.
Yeah, early on, he's been dominant. He's been fast. We'll see what happens moving forward in our next few races if he can save some tires and save some stuff for the second half of the race. We'll see what happens, but looks like Hunter Hughes is gaining a little bit on Mark Vickers.
Yeah, my intervals aren't worth all that much on road courses because it has a hard time with the push and pull of the turns.
Yeah. This race went by quick tonight.
Yeah, these guys clearly practiced. I mean, they did a nice job. I expected a little bit more calamity. And coming through the carousel for the final time, Tyler Vickery looking to add to his points lead and go to victory lane for the first time. He's going to come back in retribution from last week. Tyler Vickery wins at Mid-Ohio. And you know he's going to be excited. Meanwhile, the battle for second is going to go to Mark Vickers. Once again, a bridesmaid, but nevertheless a great run for the 84. And these three cars, clearly the class of the field here tonight.
Definitely, I know Mark will be excited to get second, even though it's close once again to gaining the lead.
If I didn't been there on turn 2, Vickery, I probably would have been able to get past you. Good job, though.
Oh yeah, no, my rears were on fire, so I was just sliding everywhere. Honestly, you and Mark both had some pretty good opportunities. That was an awesome race.
And there you heard it from both guys involved. It's Hunter Hughes over the radio first, and then Tyler Vickery. And we'll try and grab a word here with the 24. He's going to burn down.
By lap 7, everything was gone.
Yeah, not sure that was intentional.
That was pretty much how I was, because, oh my goodness.
So final results of this one's going to be Tyler Vickery going to victory lane. Mark Vickers second. Hunter Hughes is going to round out the podium positions. Colton Gardner finishes fourth. Nice run for the 3-car. Caden McElravy Jr. just kind of doing what he needed to do here tonight. Brandon Birmingham, I believe a career best 6th for the 41 car. Brian McKinney finishes 7th. Erik Richardson's going to be 8th. DJ Fluck 9th. And Justin Wexberg's going to round out the top 10. Scott McCarus and Kyle Fluck spent the rest of the race in the garage, and no points, unfortunately, for those guys. Next week, we will be moving on to the short track, I believe, either at South Boston or IRP, but potentially maybe Concord as well. In the meantime, let's pull Tyler up here for a quick word, and we'll leave you with the end credits after that. Actually, we'll probably have to do what we did last week, Chad, and just jump into his. So there he is, the winner here tonight, Tyler Vickery. He's able to attain from last week's, we'll call it collapse, and come back and dominate this one here at Mid-Ohio. Tyler, how did you get the job done out there in the 24 car?
I was thinking,
like, the 2 Class A's and 1 Class B, the only high-ranked people in road were the top 3 finishers.
And Hunter were pushing me. Oh gosh, I think honestly it was just
up there, man. I saved a couple
spins
and
then
for
just
sure.
fall back little by little. Yeah, I honestly, I feel like I still couldn't believe it after that race, because I mean, at the start, I knew I wanted to try this. I felt like this was probably going to be one of my best opportunities to try to take the points lead from Caden instead of being a tie, and being able to get max points is going to really help in the long run.
Yeah, no kidding. We were just talking about next week, kind of the wild card race at the Talladega Superspeedway. You're not necessarily in control of your own destiny, so very good job out here tonight. Not only getting the win, but you know, Caden finishing 5th. You should have a nice points advantage heading to the Superspeedway next week.
Yeah, because that was one thing I was really worried about, was if I didn't get a good points night here, for especially on a road course that I know I struggle on because I like to overdrive it, but being able to get that points gap is going to be enough. And I got to do one quick shout out over to a buddy of mine on another league that I do some IndyCar leagues with, Sam Cooper Bennett. He's actually made the paint scheme for me. This paint scheme is actually a real life paint scheme off a Bomber B driver, who for Top Coat is one of their sponsors. And for New Smyrna Speedway, the number 6 car of Tony Bromley, this is his actual paint scheme with the Top Coat logos on the side and front. So it's kind of cool to be able to take this car and take this paint scheme for a win for him, especially after he's been dominating the Bomber B class division over at New Smyrna Speedway, which is our V6 V8 class division, which is like Crown Vics, Mustangs, and vehicles like that.
Yeah, and for those of you at home that don't know, actually Tyler does race at the New Smyrna Speedway from time to time in the Spectator Series. We actually talked about it a little bit on the broadcast that we went back and watched your race you posted in the Discord. It was pretty entertaining. So, any of that real life skill come to work here tonight, or was it strictly simulator skills?
Honestly, it'd be strictly simulator. We actually have one coming up Saturday, so I'm gonna have, and this one is gonna be $500 to win, I think. So we're crossing my fingers that we get a big field again like last time, because I've been so close on winning it a few times. So we'll see what happens. But I do know for sure I'm going to have to fight with a 5.0 Mustang. So that's going to be very, very a tall order for me.
Yeah, just root for the lap traffic and those extra cars just clog up all the lanes. But Chad, you got anything else for our winner here tonight?
Yeah, speaking of tall tasks, man, I mean, what was going through your mind when you were getting loose out there? Those tires were all burnt up, and you see Hunter Hughes right on your rearview mirror there coming with 2 to go. How did you hold your composure together?
Uh, I don't know if I could say holding my composure. That was more just pure panic because in my mindset, I'm thinking, oh no, here we go again. Another last lap, like screw up on me that I'm going to end up losing this race again. And then all of a sudden going through the keyhole, going through it as cleanly as I can, trying not to get on the throttle super hard. And that's been my one issue, is I get on the throttle too hard. And then as soon as I'm coming out of the keyhole, I look behind and I see Hunter just spin out, and I'm like, just said to myself, well, just I kept an eye on the relative, and as soon as I saw it was going to be a big enough gap, I was like, all right, well, when the final lap gets here, just back the car down. Don't make any dumb moves to end up costing the race and taking yourself out on the last lap.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, once we had that spin, it was kind of clear mirrors and smooth sailing the rest of the way.
yeah, we talked about it on the broadcast. You know, there's roughly 300 turns you guys had to make tonight, and all it would take is just one for you to end up in the garage or well out of first place. So well done on being able to save your car when you did get a little bit loose and keeping it together there for the end. And another great race, another dominant performance by you, man. Keep up the good work. Love to see you in victory lane there. So congrats again.
Yeah, and
Thanks again.
before we let you go, obviously we'll let you send your thanks to everyone. And I'll just say this, that, when we see somebody that's so close to winning multiple times, whether it be in the stock car series, IndyCar, or what, it seems like once they get the monkey off their bat, they're able to rattle off a few more. So I predict this is not the only time we see the 24 car in victory lane this season. So take it away, Tyler, and then we'll roll the end credits.
Yeah, definitely. Especially I can give a shout out to CJ Creech, because he's another driver in a 4-cylinder Vision. He's had the same thing, got the camel off his back as well recently, after a lot of second place finishes. So shout out to him. I swear you and I are both similar in many different ways, both real life and sim. Top coat. I gotta also give a shout out to some of the guys I race with on a different series called VSM Racing. Sam Cooper Bennett on the paint scheme, Top Coat, Tony Bromley, Bromley Motorsports, all of the guys at New Smyrna Speedway as well, picking fun with me as much as I enjoy going out there watching the racing, and crossing my fingers at some point I'm out there with them. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this coming Saturday, and thank you guys again for the broadcast. FR Racing Online, I've enjoyed it.
Those are your words for tonight's winner, Tyler Vickery. We'll see you next week from the Talladega Superspeedway. Here's your end credits. Thank you, Chad, for joining us in the booth. For Kendall, Kerr, DJ Fluck, Erik Richardson, we'll see you next Thursday.